know you wanna be somebody, even if you gotta leave somebody. Yes, I'm hurt, yes, I'm dead. Most things that I don't wanna say. I won't be around while you change.
Hey you guys, welcome back to Taylor XO, or welcome to Taylor XO if you're a new subscriber. So y'all, let's get into this video because as you guys know, I really haven't posted for a few days, and honestly I just really haven't known really what to post. Not because Jazzy really hasn't been posting that much, Liv hasn't, none of the mommies have been posting much, but you know, it's just kind of in a sense of being over the whole situation with these these mommies supposedly. You know, at the end of the day, these women have chose their life for themselves, and you know, at this point we're just watching, you know, the consequences of their mistakes and, you know, what they've done throughout their life, from, you know, a child to now 30 years old. And, you know, we've seen a lot of this stuff play out online of, you know, these women's relationships, you know, their mothering, their friendships, you know, their family situations. We've seen a lot play out on this YouTube stuff, and I just feel like at this point, you know, things are getting really repetitive. I think that because people go so hard on them when they do speak on certain things, now, you know, they are deciding now to be a little bit more private, which I really don't get after, you know, everything has been said and done. So many things have been exposed on these YouTube streets about these women. Some things have been true, some things have been true about these women, and some things have been, you know, some things that people have, you know, kind of twisted and made seem more than what it was. But, you know, some things were what it was, just, you know, there was some lies stirred into the mix. But overall, we know that, you know, whatever these women were doing, that a lot of the people have came on here to expose, they were doing, because we know that they're known for their lies, and they have always lied. And that's the reputation that these women have, you know, given themselves and what they have proved. So a lot of the times, you know, they want to come on here and say things and want people to believe them. And, you know, people don't, because they have the history of lying, in which this case, Jazzy has, you know, came on here multiple times after things have been exposed recently about her going through this domestic violence case. But, you know, she has came on here to try to say otherwise, in which we know, you know, the truth. But she also came on to post a vlog yesterday. The people were side-eyeing because they kind of didn't understand what she was trying to say. And I think all in all, she was also trying to not say anything, but say something at the same time. But she kind of said a little bit too much. And in most cases, and most times, she always does. And that's what, you know, gets people talking and starting to suspect things and say things that, you know, may be true or maybe not true. But at the same time, she says the things, and it leaves people but just to wonder and say things and put things together, because she comes on here and she always tries to, like I said, say things but not say things. So let's get into this clip of her in her vlog when she, you know, started explaining things about people judging her and talking about her on the internet. Let's get into that, and then we will talk about it.
And what they put out, it's just crazy to me, y'all. I'm just sitting here thinking, like, the things that us content creators have to go through, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to being a YouTuber, it's crazy. But, you know, at the end of the day, just know, you sitting back judging someone else's life, your life isn't perfect either. You know, people go through things. People go through a lot of things. I go through things. My life is not perfect. I am not rich. I am a regular person, like a lot of you guys are, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people like to get that confused. They be like, oh, but you're a YouTuber, you should have billions of dollars, and not billions, but thousands and thousands of dollars. And you know, you and Chris, y'all both work, and like a lot of people don't even know that Chris has only been working his one job, because that one job pays equal to what he was working the other two jobs. He has a way better job, and that's like another thing. Like, I'm super happy for him and glad that he has a better job than he had at first. It's one easy on him, and he's able to get a little bit of rest, you know, because when he was working 2 to 3 jobs, y'all, this man, he sleep for maybe 2-3 hours. I don't know how he was doing it. I still to this day don't know how he was doing it, but I'm just glad that he was able to work his one job and basically get paid pretty much the same, you know what I'm saying, as working 3 jobs. Like, people don't get that. People think they know everything. People think they know our lives. We are regular people, okay? Regular people, kids, 9 to 5. Well, he is 9 to 5. 9 to 5, stay at home mom, work from home. Regular people. Oh man, they got a parking spot, y'all. I guess I'm just rambling, but I'm just sitting here thinking, like, people don't understand what people go through. Y'all only know what we allow y'all to know as content creators. You know what I'm saying? Y'all only know the small itsy bitsy things, okay? Y'all don't know everything, and I'm not here to tell it all, because why do I have to tell y'all what I go through or what we go through, you know, as a family? You know, we don't need to share that with y'all. It's pointless, you know. Oh, there's a tree right there. I don't want to put it right there. It's pointless. But anyways, I made it to HEB, y'all. I know I'm just all over the place. I was just driving and I'm just thinking, like, people just don't know. They think they know everything, but they really just don't be knowing stuff. Like, it irks my nerves, and I hate that sometimes I feel like I have to get on here and prove a point. But it's like, damn, like, y'all just don't know. Y'all really don't know what an individual has to go through mentally and just mentally in general. Like, it's a lot. It's a lot on somebody, you know, trying to do certain things. But we made it to HEB, y'all.
So that was the clip, you guys. And obviously, you guys heard many, many lies in that clip, because we know, like I just said, Jazzy lies. But first and foremost, she came on here to now say that Chris has a new job. And I don't know if people remember, but about a month or 2 back, she had got on live and said that Chris had this big opportunity that he was going to interview for, and she didn't want to speak on anything because she didn't know what was going to happen, you know, if he was going to get it or not. But she never really spoke more on it. So I will say that I do remember her a few months back saying, or not a few months back, but about a month or 2 back, saying that he was going to try for this position. But, you know, she says a lot of things about Chris, and especially when she does bring up the fact that this man works, you know, most times, and, you know, people have that even talk to her, like Liv, when her and Liv had that falling out on live, and Liv went on live to address her, and Liv basically said that he breaks a bunch of things in there, but basically without saying that, you know, he breaks all these things and he doesn't have a job. So, you know, why she comes on here and tries to make it seem like he is, you know, going for these big job opportunities, knowing that this bum isn't doing nothing but sitting home and beating on you or doing whatever the hell else he's doing. You know, it's very strange, and it's strange that she would go to that length to even do that, knowing that, you know, this man is truly not doing that. So she went on to say that, you know, he was working 2 to 3 jobs, and he was, you know, barely getting no more than 3 hours of sleep at a time. And, you know, now he's working a job where he makes the same thing that he was making working 3 jobs, now with 1 job. Now, sis, you know, the thing is, you can say that people come on here and constantly lie about you guys' situation, and that people don't know your real life. But the thing about it is, though, is that you have said that this man works, but we have seen otherwise. Now, how is a man that works 2 to 3 jobs so available to be at birthday parties, events, holidays? He's always home with you. He's always in the vlogs, or when you go live, he's always home. He's able to sit and have movie nights at home with you. He's off weekends. They cater to his schedule. You know, all these things that they do for this man at this job, or these 3 jobs. And not only that, but sis, what 3 jobs? That's really, I mean, I know there is some people that do work 3 jobs, but most times you really don't hear of 3 people working 3 jobs. And sis, if he is working 3 jobs, then that means he is just some low-ass, non-qualified bum to sit there and have to work 3 jobs just to make the income of 1 job. At his big age, almost 40 years. years old. He should be qualified enough to just really have to work one job, maybe two, to afford you guys this living over there, especially when, sis, you try to make it seem like you make more than typical 9 to 5 people. So if you're making that, plus you get food stamps, plus you get Medicaid, plus he has 2 to 3 jobs, the living that you guys do in there and how you live, and, you don't get your hair done, your nails done, or, really do things with the kids, take them out to dinner daily. We only see you take them out to dinner and do these things when you have the tax check. So that's obviously meaning that you only have the extra money when you have a tax check. And that's only, a few months out of the year, which is the first 3 months of the year. And usually she's broke after that. So it really isn't making any sense to me to where you say this man has 2 to 3 jobs. And you always preach about how y'all have to do 50-50. And when you take Legend shopping, he has to, or you have to put in half. Like, sis, if a man is working 2 to 3 jobs, shouldn't the point be that you're making an excessive amount of money and you at least have the money for your woman not to have to go 50-50 on a pair of shoes with you at Foot Locker that are already on sale? Like, sis, what is the logic in that? There's no logic in that at all. And let's just say he does work the 2 to 3 jobs. Sis, how does he have the time and the energy to come on YouTube and be so involved in women's business? Like, sis, when he does come home from work, we never see him, say, oh, I'm going straight to bed because, I just got done doing a shift here, a shift there. We never hear him say that. No, he hops his butt right next to you while you're on live, and he, joins right in with you and acts like he's not tired at all. So, sis, where is this energy? Like, he's so exhausted, tired, he's barely there. But sis, he's been in the vlogs and the lives all the time, and all up in the lives when he supposedly says that he is so tired from work. Like, he seems like, he has tons of energy. Somebody who is getting 3 hours of sleep a day isn't even able to keep their eyes open for even 10-15 minutes on a live. So, this man sits with you for hours on live. It just doesn't make any sense. So, getting into the point to where she also had mentioned that, you don't know what somebody goes through mentally. And then she went on to say and then she stopped herself and she didn't proceed on more. So that just leads me to believe that, she kind of slipped up when she said physically, because she does go through things physically. And, right after all this domestic violence stuff had came out, people went back to some of the lives that she did. And y'all remember when she came on live and she was crying, saying that people don't know what she goes through. And, I think that there was a lot of truth to that. And I think that Chris is in there and he does do what he does to her. But, she tries to come on here and save face and tries to spin the narrative and try to get people to start liking Chris and try to, make it seem like whatever anybody thinks of him on here isn't truly who he is. But we all know that, whatever people say about him, just like her mother, Chrissy, Liv, Medusa, LaKenya, all these people and all these women have came on here to say the same exact thing about this man. But Jazzy is the only one who says different. And that's why a lot of people say that, she does cover for this man. And that is typical if there is, especially physical abuse going on in that home, for her to want to try to save face and not tell people what's truly going on, because we know that if she did, he'd probably take a fit and do whatever, which, he knows that people know at this point. And that's why, after this whole situation, he didn't come back on to address anything, because he knows and we know what truly is going on. And Liv didn't really even have to go into the whole thing for people to truly know what is going on in that home. And, Jazzy thinks that she's going to be able to hide it and that people are going to just sweep this under the rug. And she thinks that something isn't going to happen again to where, somehow it makes it on YouTube. But there will be. And at some point she's going to, probably have to answer even more to why she allowed this to go on and, still try to come on here and protect this man. And, it's funny how after all these, domestic violence allegations and all this stuff coming out, she decided now to come on and talk about his job, when before she's never spoken anything about this job. So it just, is very, very obvious that she's trying to, make it seem like something else is going on in there when, everybody has said otherwise, especially Liv. We know that Liv came on to say that there is some serious things going on in there, but she didn't really want to speak on it. And she probably eventually will. I know a lot of people been saying, like, why would she come on here and just spill half-ass tea and not go in to really spill it? But we know that Liv will spill it. She's hiding it in her back pocket, and she may not spill it even a year from now, but I think at some point she will come out and say what she did witness and hear about the abuse that went on in Jazzy's home. But let's get on to another situation that she had put into the end of her vlog. It was this whole seafood boil thing. Well, I'll say quote unquote seafood boil. But let's get into this clip and then we will talk about it. So first and foremost, I will say that was some nasty old looking, seafood. Like, sis, I've never seen anybody soak seafood in a sink. I've heard people wipe it off, but to soak seafood like it's some type of meat or something, this girl is just so damn dumb, and she, never fails to prove it, especially in these vlogs. But, I found it kind of odd that now all of a sudden now she wants to feed the kids seafood boil and try to act like she is this mother of the year, and she does feed her kids, especially, feeds her kids good. And she mentioned that the girls have been wanting seafood. And I'm just like, sis, these kids never eat seafood to even know what seafood is. So how would they be missing it and wanting it like that? But, I think that, and like other people have said, that when CPS is on her back, she does these things to try to, prove to people otherwise, and especially the CPS workers. But we all know what truly goes on in the home. And we know that, once CPS is off of her back again, she will be back to doing her old ways. And I think that this is a game that a lot of people who do deal with CPS do. They try to make things right in the home and get the kids all cleaned up when the CPS workers are around. But then when they leave out the door, they're, hitting, spanking, and, starving the kids. So it's something that obviously, is going on in the house, and she wants to cover up. But I honestly thought it was so funny. Jazzy is so predictable in these vlogs, especially, when things go down. She is so predictable when she comes out with these things, trying to hide what's truly going on, like Chris having these jobs all of a sudden and buying the girls things, which she mentioned that Chris had bought them some slippers. They look like dollar slippers, and now all of a sudden now she's feeding the kids seafood boils and getting the kids in sports. And I just think it's all fake, and it's just, like I said, all a cover up to what, really is going on in there. But you guys comment down below what you guys think of this whole seafood boil thing, because honestly, when I saw that, I had to comment on it, because I truly know that nothing she does with these kids is genuine. Most of the time, it's just something to show for YouTube, because, people that have dealt with her also have said that, all she cares about is YouTube and her boyfriend. And, I think the truth will come out at some point. But until then, we're going to get these fake vlogs of her trying to put up this front that we know is not true. But comment down below what you guys think. You guys, thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for another one.
Tell me what you see in me. Gotta be something different.